To our top story, in a major boost to India's air power and self-reliance, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh today is going to be inaugurating the Tejas Light Combat Aircraft second production line today in Bengaluru in just about a short while from now. The move is coming after Modi government's Cabinet Committee on Security clearing the procurement of 83 Tejas jets from Hindustan Aeronautics Limited or HAL. The deal amounts to a whopping 48,000 crore rupees. Out of 73 jets are Tejas Mk1A and the rest are Mk1 trainer aircrafts. The delivery of the Tejas Light Combat Aircraft to the Indian Air Force is going to begin from March 2024. Around 16 aircrafts are going to be rolled out annually till the completion of the total supply of 83 jets. Not just that, India is also expected to export the aircrafts. The first export order is likely to come in by the next couple of years. My colleague Akshita is now going to tell you what Tejas really can do. Let's go straight across to her.
The LCA Tejas has a very sleek and a simplistic design. Now, let me explain all that you need to know about the Tejas' performance in numbers. The maximum speed of the aircraft is Mach 1.8. That's 2,205 kilometers per hour. The overall range is at 850 kilometers. But if we talk about the combat range, it's at 500 kilometers, and that's with maximum internal fuel. What about the ferry range of the aircraft? It's at 2,100 kilometers. And that's with drop tanks. The service ceiling of the Tejas is at 15,000 meters, about 50,000 feet.
All right, that was Akshita explaining to you the features of Tejas. This is going to be a major boost, as I was mentioning earlier, to India's self-reliance, air power, the Make in India initiative as well. The Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is going to be inaugurating the Tejas Light Combat Aircraft second production line. All of this action is going to happen in Bengaluru in just about a short while from now. Shiv Arur joins us with the very latest. Shiv, this is, of course, a big boost coming in for India's air power and to self-reliance in India as well. If you could just walk our viewers through the importance and the features of this new production line.
Very important day for Atmanirbhar Bharat in defence, which is something that hasn't actually quite taken off in other aspects, Chaiti. But this particular production line, which happens to be the second LCA Tejas fighter jet production line that's being inaugurated by Defence Minister Rajnath Singh any moment now in Bengaluru, is a huge boost at so many different levels. This basically doubles the rate of production of the LCA fighter jet, and it basically tells you that the Indian Air Force wants these fighters as fast as possible. The rate of delivery and production has been a concern in the past, and with this second production line, the HAL, the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, will be able to churn out these fighters at a faster rate to meet that rate that is required by the Indian Air Force to fulfill those orders. As you know, that in just a couple of days from now, there is a huge deal, a 48,000 crore deal, Chaiti, for 83 more LCA Tejas jets that is going to be signed between the Indian Air Force and HAL, taking the total number of these jets that will be in operation with the Air Force to 123. That's a huge number for an indigenous jet, a jet that's been designed and built in India. Most of the jet is of Indian origin as well. So it's an enormous confidence booster. It's a huge financial incentive, to keep developing this fighter and improving it and making it go forward. And it's a major, since you understand business, it's a huge booster shot for Indian aerospace industry. There are thousands of companies that feed into the production of jets like these, and therefore this is going to be hugely beneficial for the economy as well.
Hugely beneficial for the economy also because the export order is also likely to come in. And Shiv, I'm coming to you on that point in just about a bit, but Nolan Pinto is joining us from Bengaluru at this point of time. Nolan, what is happening there? In just about a short while from now, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is going to be inaugurating the Tejas Light Combat Aircraft second production line today. All of this action in Bengaluru.
In fact, we're waiting for the Defence Minister to arrive over here. He should arrive any moment now. But this is very important, like what Shiv was actually speaking. As of now, the old LCAs, you're talking about the IOC and the FOC, that's the initial operation clearance ones, and also the final operation clearance, were being manufactured and built at the existing production facility. So this is the second production facility, spread over some 35 acres is what the officials tell us. Now, it is over here, what the officials tell us is that the trainers will be first manufactured, and thereafter the 73 Mark 1A. So there's a big difference what they're going to manufacture over here, because the Mark 1A is what the Indian Air Force finally wanted. It has various upgrades that the Indian Air Force wanted, such as the ability to fire BAVRAM, so beyond vision range missiles, the ASAR radar, electronic jamming pods, and so on and so forth. So this is what the Indian Air Force wants, and it is over here in this production facility that the trainers will be manufactured first, then the Mark 1As, and finally what we're also told is that for if India cracks deals with various other nations for the export, the later variants of the LCA will be manufactured from this particular facility. But also, this will all ramp up the numbers. 8 is what they've been able to do so as of now. So 8 plus 8, 8 will also be manufactured over here. 16, yes. Almost a squadron of the LCA.
Yes, continue to stay with us right there. Shiv and Nolan both. Indigenously built light combat aircraft Tejas has now received its biggest order by the Indian Air Force. The Union Cabinet has given its nod to procure 83 Tejas fighter jets for the Indian Air Force to strengthen the movement to create Atmanirbhar Bharat. Take a look.
Welcome to the Flying Daggers, an Indian Air Force squadron with a unique distinction. It holds the distinction of being the only squadron currently flying an Indian fighter jet. That's right, the Tejas.
Our aim here is to raise the first LCA Tejas unit of Indian Air Force. It specializes in both the roles of air-to-air and air-to-ground. That is to say, it's a multi-role aircraft.
The best part about this aircraft is the indigenous hand in the mission computer, which enables us full capability to develop its weapon carriage as well as operational capability.
As the pilots stack up the flying hours in this homegrown jet, there's history right around the corner. Because in just days from now, the Indian Air Force is all set to place its biggest ever order for 83 Tejas fighters. A contract that will be the biggest in history for an Indian-developed and Indian-built aircraft. The Tejas, christened so by former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee in 2001, has had a turbulent flight path through development. But through 2 decades, it has proven worthy of induction by the Indian Air Force. And with the upcoming mega deal for 83 aircraft of an improved variety, the Indian Air Force has stamped its confidence and faith in the Made in India jet. With the order, the Indian Air Force will finally operate 123 Tejas jets, a massive number that fully validates decades of aerospace toil. But the Tejas story has only really just begun. 40 Tejas jets being inducted as we speak are of the baseline Mk1 variant. The upcoming mega order will be for 83 of the improved Mark 1A that features weapons capability and maintenance improvements. But the future of the Tejas looks strong too, with at least 2 pathways ahead. A more powerful Tejas Mark II or even a twin-engine Super Tejas. In 2019, your host Shiv Arur had the privilege of flying in a Tejas with a Kargil war hero pilot. The Tejas began decades ago, but its future has just opened up and opened big. Bureau Report, India Today.
My colleague Akshata Nandagopal is now going to tell us how Tejas matches up with Air Arsenal.
And let's also get to a comparison of how India's LCA Tejas really does against Pakistan's JF-17 Thunder. This is something that's been discussed a lot before as well. Now, there are 12 of the LCA Tejas that are currently in service. What about the JF-17? Over 100 of them are in service in the Pakistani Air Force. There's also the matter that the LCA Tejas is made of light composites. You compare that to the JF-17 Thunder, which is in fact a cheap jet. It's all metal also. As far as the development of this jet is concerned, this is a big push for Atmanirbhar Bharat. It's a fully Indian developed jet, completely indigenous. When you talk about the JF-17 Thunder, that's not the case, because this has in fact been made jointly. There's no Pakistani role really in the development. Another shortcoming of the JF-17 Thunder is that it has limited improvements that are possible, and that's not the case for the LCA Tejas. Future improvements are very much set and very much possible.
India today, Shiv Arur flew the LCA Tejas in Bengaluru. Here is his experience of flying the LCA Tejas. Take a look.
Loaded and ready for battle. This little jet has also had one hell of a month. The compact fighter is ready for a fight and ready for history with a mega deal around the corner. And in the aftermath of Pulwama, as India and India's Air Force teaches Pakistan a bloodied lesson, as the Indian Air Force gets set to sign up for 83 more of this Desi jet, India today was invited to meet the Air Force's newest member. Well, not just meet, but actually fly the light combat aircraft Tejas. First things first, I obviously couldn't wear just about anything for the flight. A team from the Tejas program helps me get into full fighter pilot gear. From the flying suit, to the boots, the G-suit to counter the dangerous levels of acceleration force, or G in a fast jet. And finally the fighter helmet with an oxygen mask. And now fully kitted out, I get to meet the man who'll be commanding the flight. And given the circumstances, I couldn't have possibly asked for a greater pilot to be in charge. This is Air Vice Marshal N. Tiwari, Chief of the National Flight Test Center that oversees the testing and proving process of the LCA Tejas. Briefed and ready for the mission, we head out to the tarmac. On a scorching hot Bengaluru day, as we reach the flight line, the LCA Tejas jets finally loom into view. A pair of them from the actual Air Force squadron that flies them now. After several minutes of checks, we taxi out. The cockpit is a cozy little space with a multitude of flat panel displays designed to give pilots every possible piece of information they could need while in the air. Then we wait for clearance to take off. Once in the air, the pilot instantly banks sharply to the right, demonstrating the LCA's excellent responsiveness and agility in the air. Cruising out west of Bengaluru, the jet is throttled up and prepared for a list of maneuvers to demonstrate just how nimble this jet is. From a barrel roll to a high G loop to a few minutes where I'm given control of this fighter jet. Fully Indian control laws are super evident in this fighter's supremely excellent reflexes. The jet we're flying doesn't have weapons for obvious reasons, but don't let that fool you. The LCA Tejas already packs a formidable punch.
This is perhaps undisputedly one of the largest procurement deals. The aircraft is sure going to be the backbone of the Indian Air Force fighter fleet as well. If you could walk our viewers through the visuals that are coming in first.
Well, in fact, Chaiti, this is what HAL as well as the Indian Air Force have been waiting for a very long time. HAL has always stated that they have the wherewithals to actually manufacture a world-class fighter, and they've done this. They were only waiting for the procurement deal to be signed, and that's exactly what Shiv said. It would happen in the next few days during Aero India, hopefully. Now, we are waiting for him to actually enter. He's outside over here. It's a massive campus over here, about 34 to 35 acres. It is over here, Chaiti, that that is the Mark 1A, and also the trainers will be manufactured. The Air Force has always been stating this. They need HAL to ramp up the numbers. 8 is not enough. They need a full squadron. So the first production facility was able to actually give them 8 fighters a year. With this now, what we are told and what our sources tell us is that the trainers, 10 trainers will be manufactured. First over here, thereafter the 73 Mark 1A. Now, this is what the Air Force has wanted for a very, very long time. Like we spoke about this earlier, the Mark 1A is what the Air Force wants. It has a variety of improvements, such as the ability to fire BAVRAMs, that is your beyond visual range air-to-air missiles. And the Astra is being integrated now as we speak. Apart from that, you have the ASR radar, you have the self-protection jammer pod, and also easy maintainability. So this is the Mark 1A which will be produced right over here. And thereafter, in this very facility, the future variants of the Tejas will be exported to friendly countries. So we are still waiting for the Defence Minister to enter, but this is the hangar where I am, where it will be manufactured, and a very, very important step forward by HAL.
Shiv, is this going to be an absolute catalyst for transforming the Indian aerospace manufacturing ecosystem in India as well?
The manufacture of this particular jet, Chaiti, in India is something that's going to have, benefits that go across to thousands of companies that feed into the Tejas production line. For a moment, if I can just tell you about the production line itself, this is the second LCA Tejas production line that's coming online, and you can easily interpret what that means. It basically means the Indian Air Force wants the rate of delivery of these aircraft to speed up as quickly as possible. We understand that anywhere between 60 and 20 of these fighters will be produced each year. There will be an optimal maximum rate of production of about 25 per year that can be met, says HAL, with this second production line as well. It will take a lot of work, but this is a great start because manufacturing capacity is where the sweet spot is. That's where it all is at. And to answer your question about exports, 123 aircraft, many of which have already been delivered to the Indian Air Force, are going to be manufactured at these facilities. But who is to say that there won't be exports? There are many countries that have already expressed interest in the Tejas. Countries like Malaysia, some Latin American countries, some countries in Africa have also looked at the Tejas. There are variants of the Tejas, like a Tejas fighter trainer aircraft that is also, in development right now. So it's not just the static Tejas, but different spin-offs and configurations of this aircraft that can meet export orders. So it's a very, very exciting milestone for this hugely important Indian project.
Absolutely. Shiv, thank you for joining us. Nolan, thanks for getting us those live visuals as well. This is a major boost to India's air power and self-reliance in the defense space. Truly the vision of Atmanirbhar in defense. We will continue getting you more updates from Bengaluru as we go along the way. For now, it's a wrap from me, Chaiti Narula, on this bulletin. For the news and updates, don't forget to log on to indiatoday.in or download our app.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.